but 18 way too many. Now on 2-2, there it goes.
Just like a good Bob Carpenter forearm, it hit and bit right on the hill.
But this one went a lot further, and we've got a ball game again. 3-2 now.
One of those Milwaukee walks finally came back to haunt him. Last inning, Seitzer hits a shot that's caught.
Down the line, fair ball. The game is tied, and we'll watch Tarbell, who's approaching third. Here he comes. Kansas City leads. Long one to left field. Bradley to the wall. It is gone.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Drive to right field for a base hit. That'll score Brett Wilson being waved home. And that cuts the lead to 5-3. Mike McFarland jumping on the 3-2 pitch thrown by Jack Morris. Scores Brett and Wilson. The hard-hitting Gerald Perry. Line to left field. Gary Ward hustles over, won't get to it. That'll score 2, possibly 3. Here comes Stillwell home, and there's no throw, and the game is tied. Gerald Perry with a 3-2 pitch, doubles up the alley, and got his 2 balls and a strike. Drive toward the alley, right center field. Sheets with a long run. This is well hit. This is upstairs. A 2-run home run for Danny Tartabull, his 2nd homer of the year, and the Royals have come back to move in front by a pair. Danny Tartabull launched one into the upper deck in right center, and it's 8-6 Kansas City.
So when the hit and run's on, it's your job to protect the plate. Protect the runner and get the bat on the ball, and White did that.
2-1 pitch hit hard off the glove of Tony Phillips. Wilson heads for third. He may try to score. He's going to score. The ball goes to the bullpen, and there is a very big run. 9-6 Kansas City leads. It'll be a double for Frank White.
Willie in the season.
Breaking ball hit on the ground. Martinez handles it nicely, has to hurry, and gets Danny Tartabull at first base. Having to hold at second is Kurt Stillwell.
Batting fourth.
Ball at second, no score, first inning. Fastball hit a mile to right field, and you can forget about this one. Opposite field, 2-0 Kansas City.
Can't throw the gas belt high to Bo when you're behind in the count, and Holman did and paid for it.
And I mean to tell you, Henry Cotto, who's playing right field, did not even turn around. Didn't even watch it go about 12 rows up in right field.
Right fielder, number 22.
So that negated that little 5-game losing streak they had. And the one test on the White Sox would be what they did after they had a little tailspin.
Eisenreich with a nice running catch to rob Harold Reynolds.
Voted the MVP by the Kansas City writers last year.
There goes Reynolds. A pitch swung on him. His throw to second base. in time to get Ken Griffey and also to get Harold Reynolds. So it's a double play strikeout of Griffey, throw out of Harold. Better believe it. And Toto too. Hit in the air. Trouble here. Kansas City should score a run. They will, as rounding third, heading home. Mike McFarland. It's a 4-1 ball game, Kansas City.
Well, Holman now can add the hanging curveball he threw to Kevin Seitzer to mistake number 3 on the ball game. And pitchers, especially a conscientious guy like Holman, will review his own effort.
Little tap. Montgomery should end it and does. And the Kansas City Royals win the opener of this 3-game series at the Kingdome in Seattle. Final score is 4-1 KC as Tom Gordon gets his 5th win of the year and Brian Holman loses number 6.
Well, Montgomery and the Royals.
The pitch from Morris. Here's one that's hit a mile and a half.
Oh, almost out of everything.
Almost clear out of the ballpark. It's the longest home run I've ever seen here.
That's me too. I've never seen one hit that far up the bank. And this is what all the people come for. They'd forget about the air very quickly. And now it's made them all complete that he hit a home run. That's what most of the people out here have come to see.
I don't hear any boos.
Bo Jackson hitting the long one. And had to supply most of the power himself. Because this was...
Jack is ready. And a drive into center. That's well hit. This one may be gone. And it is a home run for Perry.
Ball looked like it hit right on top of the fence, but it was more of a line drive type of a home run. It wasn't up in the air that far, but he put a jolt into it.
And not talent. Orsulak licks that one to left center field. Bo won the charge. Bo is there. Yo, mama, love that ball.
2 on, nobody out. This one up the middle, double play ball to Pacoda for 1, and the relay gets him in on the play. Boggs moves over to third. Kurt still hitting .283 and getting a chance to play in Bo Jackson's absence. And now, Roger Clemens is going back at plate umpire Jim Evans, and I would guess for that call on that 2-2 pitch to Gerald Perry. And now Joe Morgan has taken up the argument.
Joe Morgan gets in there in a hurry. He doesn't mind if he gets thrown out. He doesn't want Clemens.
Meanwhile, look at the umpires around Roger Clemens on the mound.
One of the things that Roger
will get the win.
Yeah, he's kind of strapped in his bullpen because of some injuries.
Down toward third, Seitzer steps on the bag for 1 across the diamond, high throw, and Brett got back down in time for the double play. So the Red Sox leave more runners stranded and still lead by 1. His lead off at first, they'll be off with the pitch. Struck him out. 10 men left on base this afternoon for the Red Sox. They still lead 1-0. Reardon set for 1-2 pitch. Ground ball toward right field, base hit. Brett around third. Throw to the plate is not in time, and we have a tie game. So Willie Wilson, only in the lineup due to the absence of Bo Jackson, delivers with man in scoring position here in the 8th inning.
And that's why you try to throw the runner out at home in a 1-1 ball game.
Here's a line drive, fair ball down the third base line. Wilson will score from second, and the runners will hold at first and second. The Royals lead. Big hit by that man, Bill Pacoda. Bullpen, John Watson is saying Jeff Montgomery is my man. Full count pitch. Hit in the air in left field. Eisenreich back to the wall and makes the catch. Ah, the fun of playing in Fenway.
Tone, that man on the mound.
2-2 pitch. Grounded towards short. Stillwell on to first, and the Royals win it. Luis Aquino with a strong starting job. Jeff Montgomery came on and did what he's supposed to out of the bullpen, and the Royals have taken 2 straight from the Boston Red Sox. Today's final, Kansas City 2 and the Red Sox 1. And we'll take time out and come back and wrap things up from Fenway Park in just a moment.
Legs that are really muscular. They're coming right through the pants. Whoa! No, he didn't. Now watch this carry, and look at this. What did I tell you? Dion thought he was going to catch that ball. It looked like a routine fly ball at center field. And when it got up to the top, the zenith, then it took off. I can't believe it. Man, he is strong. 17th home run, and the Royals lead 2-0.
Stage 2 pretty soon.
Yes. All right, here's Espinosa now. And a push bunt, it's a dandy. Oh, Barfield, where was he? Holy cow, is that the safety squeeze or the suicide squeeze? Barfield got no jump at all. And Espinosa's got to be wondering what happened. Somebody missed a sign there. Barfield played it as though it were the safety squeeze. 1 to second, 1 to third, and 1 to short. Oh, did he get all of that? He did. That's gone. Holy cow. The wind is not a factor at all, but I'm telling you that it must be a night for the ball to travel. Second home run off Hawkins. Only the second hit off him, but the Royals now lead 3-1.
That's the first home run for Pacoda this year.
Albro, but I think Albro's more sure-handed. Arms are the same. Oh, what a play! Holy cow, Leyritz. I tell you, the Yankee defense has been sensational the last couple of games. You got to be ready, and you got to be quick for those short lateral moves. Last time up, Jackson hit his 17th homer. Oh, no! Holy cow, you could see the same spot. Holy cow! 3/4 of the way up the bleachers. He just flicked his wrist. And I thought for sure he'd start him out with a breaking pitch. Driven in all 4 runs. I mean, when he hits him, well, they got 5 runs, but he driven in 4. Pacoda hit the other home.
Mickey, one of the legendary people in the Kansas City organization. Of course, he just made the Georgia Southern Sports Hall of Fame recently.
Oh, Dion cream punt. And Jackson, look at him go backwards. Holy, I never saw a guy run that fast going backwards. That's Dion's best shot. Bo was playing shallow, and he still got back there.
Hey, Scooter,
We used to run around here with short pants. And then there's another kid. Oh, bounces perfect double play ball. With the overshift on, they get the double play. Nothing across, and on the AT&T scoreboard at the end of 3, Royals 2.
Right. None of this in-between stuff.
A 2-run home run in the first, a 2-run home run in the third, a 3-run home run here in the fifth. 7 of the 8 Royal runs belong to number 16. To center field, over is Jackson. It's by him. 1 run scores. This could be 4 for Sanders. Look at him move. Sanders around third. Showalter's going to send him in. Here's the throw to the plate. He scores! The Royals will argue that he didn't touch the plate the first time and that he was tagged before he got...
They're fourth in runs scored, sixth in earned run average. And you wonder how they can be last. That's going to be a base hit. And scored 2 runs. They'll never get George Brett. A ball not hit that well. So Willie Wilson with 2 RBIs.
Well, I said it at the 4th spot. Has driven in 9 of the 10 runs tonight.
He took the words right out of the mouth. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Bo Jive was a shame. It's
down to their last strike. Strikes him out. Another pitch out of the strike zone. And Jeff Montgomery comes in and picks up his 11th save. He hit Deion Sanders and gave up a double to Mattingly. But that was only sandwiched around a strikeout to Steve Sachs, Noakes, and Leyritz. 3 strikeouts for Montgomery in the inning. So in a wild and woolly contest, the Kansas City Royals have won this one 10-7. 10 runs, 12 hits for Kansas City. For the Yankees, 7
plate. And he drops one into center field for an RBI single. Brett pulls up at second. 2-0 Royals.
Adam almost got out of this mess, and he made a pretty good pitch right here, right on the hand.
And McRae hits one into right center field. And Lance Johnson does get to the ball, but they're going to bring Stillwell around third. Here's the relay way high. It's 3-0 Kansas City. Year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was over 400, I believe, mid-September. There's a smash fair down the right field line. It'll drive in 2. And George Brett is in the second with a 2-run double. He's got 3 RBIs in the game, and Kansas City has opened up a 5-0 lead. Tonight, boy, as Tom mentioned, he had 3 outstanding innings against the White Sox on Monday. And Johnson bounces one. They get the out at second, on to first. A double play. Pacoda to Stillwell to Perry on the 4-6-3. And Jeff Torborg is coming out to bid. So there's the deal with runners at first and second. Little looper out to the left, and Ozzie Guillen flags it down. Little broken bat looper into left field, and that retires the Sox. He has 1 out in the 9th. Sox with a man on, and 1-1 the count to Guillen. Ground ball towards short. Stillwell on to second to Pacoda. The relay double play. This game and series is over. 6-4-3. And the Kansas City Royals take 3 out of 4 from the White Sox in this 4-game set. But the White Sox do have a 500 road trip as they finish up 6-6. We'll be back and recap tonight's game in a moment.
Oh my, this is impressive. No, everybody just watches Jackson hit home run number 25 into the left field seats. Tell you, left fielder Deion James just turned around and watched it. He took a step and then stopped.
So did Bo Jackson at home plate.
Boy.
He knew when that ball left his bat, that ball was way out of here. And the Indians cannot stop the Royals from scoring. Offense keeps battling back.
Gets there, the bat will become a lot quieter. See him wobble it, all of a sudden, boom.
Goodbye.
Bo knows that he had that one. He has hit some mammoth shots against the Rangers. That is his 23rd home run. The nice thing about it is, if you're a fan, you got to see him hit a tape measure shot, but the Rangers are ahead 8-4, so it maybe isn't going to make any difference in the final score. 65th run batted in.
You know they're in for a short night.
Yeah.
Left side, Ventura. Look at the play. Can he throw him out? Nice effort, but the ball gets away from Danny Pasqua. McRae will score, and it's 1-0 Kansas City. That'll be a base hit and an RBI. You just nod your head, and I'll give the reaction to the fans. There you go. Uh-oh, that's it deep to left center. That ball's hit hard way back. You can put it on the board. Home run from McFarland. His 6th of the season, and it's a 7-2 game. Mercer, he hurt it.
And fortunately for the Sox, nobody was on base. He got a fastball up and out over the plate, and he nailed it. 385 mark. He just kills this one.
Base hit. Here comes Martinez. Here comes McRae. Thurman, he's just flying into third base. He'll stop there. And it's a 10-4 ball game. And it's going to pay off as there's a base hit. He's going to score on a single by Stillwell, and it's an 11-5 game. That's hit hard. Deep. Sammy back. One hop off the fence. Here comes McRae. Here comes Thurman. Brought in the second with a double. He has 4 RBIs, and it's 11-7. Sox. And it's so true. As you get older, you become a better low ball hitter. Uh-oh. That's it deep. Way back. You can put it on the board. Ninth homer for Gibson, and the Royals lead it 1-0.
Well, it's just a solo shot. Thank goodness for that. But the thing, he made a mistake probably by throwing the changeup to Gibson right there. He had him way out in front on the first pitch. He's the arm of Ramon Garcia.
Well, he's...
That's a sequel to the movie that you saw?
Yeah, bring me the hit of Alfredo Garcia. That's it deep into right center field. Way back. Pasqua looks up. You can put this one on the board. 2-run homer for Tartabull. And it's quickly a 3-0 Kansas City lead. Mercer.
Well, Danny Tartabull's got great power the other way, and you throw him anything downstairs,
So Garcia with another 3-2 pitch. Uh-oh, that's hit deep to left center. Way back. Lance at the fence. Put it on the board. That's the 3rd homer off Garcia. And it's a 4-0 Kansas City lead.
Ball hitter.
There's a little duck snort into left field. Stillwell, they're going to wave him around his reins. They got a shot. Here's the throw. Short hops Fisk. Stillwell scores, and it's 5-0 Kansas City with McRae in the second.
That's all right, because I think I know what it is. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line, it is going to be a base hit. No interference. It'll go into center. A run will score. Runners at first and third, and it's a 4-2 ball game. And what a great piece of base running by Tim Spear, the rookie, at second, as he blocked out Manuel Lee and didn't get hit by it and didn't get called for interference. Walks. They're 11th in the league in walks. Slugging percentage is 5th, and the on-base percentage 7th, and there's a big hit. That's getting it done right there. 3-2 count, 1 out. And Shumpert, who has been struggling, picks up an RBI single to make this a 5-3 ball. 24-year-old out of Sarasota, Florida, born there, lives there now. And he drills it to left field, way back to Seattle. at the wall. Goodbye, home run. A 2-run shot by David Howard. And this game is tied.
That he has.
Sox with the infield in. Chopper Ventura came in now. Ball gets over his head as 2 runs are going to score. Robin misjudged that one. And it's a 4-0 Kansas City lead.
Yeah, Robin had a chance to take a back step, to go backwards, and he would have had a play on Benzinger, but in his anxiety to really
prove he is a contending ball player.
That's right. Well, it usually takes about a year for the hand to heal completely.
That ball hit hard into the gap. Charlie Huff got a hanger up there, so Benzinger's going to score. Now Pagoda's going to turn it on, going to third base. They get him. But it's a 5-0 Kansas City lead. That's in the gap. Lance gets to his Gibson now. He's going to give it a shot at third base. Overthrow, relay, not in time. 6-0 Kansas City. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 out here in the 7th. David Howard. 1-2-3 inning. After 6.5, 7-0. Kansas City right now is paused. Lead it 7-0. Right back, come hard, comebacker. What a play by Saberhagen, and he gets it. Boy, he hit a bullet, 1-hopper right back, and it was a look what I got. That'll do it. Nothing across. No hits, no errors, 1 left after 7.5. Right side. Terry Shumpert. 1 gone. Into right field. Jim Eisenreich. 2 out. Curveball hit right to Terry Shumpert. He's going to get it. With Saberhagen. Pitches the first no-hitter of his career as he shuts out the Sox 7-0. He has knocked in 79 against the southpaw. Mark Davis making just his 2nd start. That ball hit deep into right center field. Harvey Pulliam going back now on the track in front of the fence and makes the catch. Boy, Robin creamed it deep into right center. Meanwhile, that's a hang with him in this ballpark.
That it is. Usually the wind blows in here, and of course it's very spacious.
That's hit into the gap in left center field. Gibson makes a catch. Now standing catch by Kirk Gibson, robbing Tim Raines of extra bases and saving a run. Nothing across. There was a hit. No errors. 1 man left after 2.
Did that rent a car? I'm telling you.
Wimpy, that was a terrible thing you did, my man. It's looped out into short right field. Here comes somebody. Nobody. Ball falls in between. This could be an inside to Parker. That's exactly what it's going to be. An inside to Park home run for Harvey Pulliam. And the Royals lead it 2-0. Well, yeah, but the reverse, I think, of what I'm talking about is is probably more prevalent. That ball's hit hard in the legs. That's a breaking ball hit hard, way back. You can put it on the board. Well, Harvey Pulliam just hammered that hanger right there from Wilson Alvarez, and it's a 3-0 Royal lead. He's strong.
He is that. Boy, he put a good swing on this one. That was a horrible swing he had at the other one, a little looping fly ball to right field, but the mental processes at work, as you said, turned him into an outstanding hitter for his next few times up there, without a doubt.
9-4, bottom of the 8th at Busch Stadium. There goes Ozzie. There's the throw.
The Spirit looks like he can throw a little bit.
Once again, the 1-2 delivery. So Gordon strikes out Matt Marullo, and the ball game is over. Sox are beaten by a score of 3-2. They have lost 8 in a row. And we'll be back with our Miller High Life play of the ball game right after this.
And 236 at-bats last year with 1 home run. Has the runner at second, 2 down, 1-1 count, no score. Howard to left field, gets the base hit. Miller makes the turn. Rickey was in close. Henderson's got a shot at the plate. It's blocked. Bounces back to the backstop. On his way to third base is David Howard. Kansas City leads 1-0. Lefties in 244 off right-handers. And that would figure with this big thump they've got right-handed in the lineup. Shallow center. McRae, long way, scooped it. And he's out. Willie Wilson retired on an outstanding play by Brian McRae.
Count not favorable right now, though.
Try and get everybody moving at once. That one is a fair ball down the line in left field. Keith Miller coming home. Rickey Henderson over to get it. Henderson bobbles it. Will that allow another run? Howard's coming to the plate. There'll be no play. 2 runs in. A 4-1 Royals lead. McRae with a 1-1 count. Jeff Parrott to him. It won't matter. Base hit into right center field. RBI single for Brian McRae. A 5-1 Kansas City lead. 2 for 3 for McRae on the night.
Joyner with the first pitch.
Up the middle, he's still perfect. Wally Joyner 3 for 3 and a 6-1 Royals lead.
Well, over the last 3 years, the statistics, if you like such things. First 21. Just didn't seem like it really could be possible. That's a drive deep down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. Into the second deck, and Kansas City is ahead 2-0. Break up the Royals. Brian McRae with a shot out of here with plenty to spare. His first home run of the year.
Well, McRae came out earlier today and took extra batting practice, and George Brett along with him when they were out taking extra batting practice before the ball game, and he said that he
is still doing so at age 45, and you wonder if Winfield's going to be another one of those guys. Nice play by Jeffries. 1, Miller to first, double play. 5-4 to 3, and Kansas City is out.
But they had everything else.
Yeah, a few 390 hitters like George Brett. And McRae held it. Nice play.
When he first hit it, I didn't think there was any way McRae was going to close the gap because it was hitting.
A nightmare for the Blue Jays. Kansas City trying to revisit some of those old Blue Jay nightmares. Nice play at second by Jeff Kent to throw out Chris Gwynn. Jeff Kent doing a pretty fair imitation of Roberto Alomar.
Round on Joyner. He's got him set up for something down and in, I would think. Right there, but he hits it.
Down the right field line, and that's going to bring both runs home. Coming in to score is Miller. McRae right behind him, and Wally Joyner's into second, and the Kansas City Royals have begun to break it open. Kansas City 5, Toronto 0.
Well, I said he had him set up for something down and in, and that's where Marsh was trying to go. He got it down and in, but not down enough. He's made 2 mistakes. He didn't get the ball up.
His batting average coming into the game was .262, so there's a shot by Brian McRae, who earlier had a home run. This is way back there, and this one is up against the wall. Miller will score, and McRae is into second, holding with a stand-up double. And that's the 3rd hit for McRae, hitting out of the number 2 spot, and his 3rd run batted in. 6-0. And there's his 3rd hit. McRae to 3rd being waved home. Here comes Maldonado's throw, cut off. The throw back to 1st, now they've got Jeffries hung up. Olerud to Kent. To Olerud.
This looks more like
Gruber's there, and he tags him out. Wow.
It looked more like Kansas City's defensive plays the last few days.
2-1 the count to George. He whacks that one into left center field, into the alleyway. This one will go to the wall. Scoring easily is Joyner and George Brett. But you can take the oxygen away from George, he can breathe on his own again. Oh, well, they survived. Chris taking the night off tomorrow, by the way. Caught by Jeffries. Then into the stands. I thought for a moment Jeffries is going to leave early. That's the inning. We're going to the 9th now. It looks exactly like the roof here at the Sky Dome. There's a drive to left field, deep off the bat of Miller, and that one is a home run. The only thing that he had not done tonight.
Well, he is 4 for 4 hitting and a base on balls, and he scored 4 runs. I mean, he's making a trade look good by himself.
Struck him out. Is the nightmare over? Well, we'll know for sure in another few days, but for now the Royals can smile. For only the 2nd time this season they have defeated the Toronto Blue Jays 9-0. Next Sunday night.
Look at this. Look at the play by Wally Joyner. I'm a son of a gun. Sachs has been real. Boy, is he hot. I don't blame him. Great play by Joyner. Now we'll retire on the side. Been a tough season in his first full year as skipper. That's off the glove of Gubicza. Look at this. Right to Wilkerson. That'll be 1-6-3. Same as the first inning.
Wally Joyner made a whole lot more. Some scores around the American League. Detroit and Milwaukee tied. Cark nails this one to dead center field. McRae on his horse way back. He's not going to get it. Oh, he did get it. Oh, my. What a play by Brian McRae.
There's a gorgeous play right there. One of the best catches we have seen all season long. Let's take another look before we go to commercial.
Good.
Always good.
Boy, one of the really great high ball hitters.
The ball hit hard in the right field. Eisenreich.
Oh, my. Boy, Frank just hammered this one. This was gaining altitude, just a rocket.
Frank's the only guy that's hit the ball hard tonight.
Yeah, and he's 0 for 2.
Great.
That's good.
That's high and deep. Way back. You can put it on the board. Eighth homer by Kevin McReynolds, and Kansas City leads it 2-1. Jammed him into right field. Jim Eisenreich is there. He'll make the catch, and the ball game is over. 0-0 across for the Sox here in the 9th inning. There was a hit, one left. Final score as the Royals even up this series at a game apiece. They won it 2-1, and we'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
37 games to reach 3,000. 2 for 7 in this series so far. There goes Miller. Hard hit ball up the middle, off the glove of Houston, the shortstop, and on into center field. Keith Miller gets a stop sign at third, but the Royals have runners at the corner, and now a delayed charge for home by Miller. He had come to a dead stop at third base, then restarted the engine and raced home.
A little bit later in the ballgame.
Hits it pretty well. Right center field. Ruben Sierra back, looking up, and it is gone. A home run for Kozlowski. One he'll never forget.
Try to keep from smiling on your way around the bases if you can.
That's only the 9th home run this season against Nolan Ryan. And it's Kevin Kozlowski's first in the major.
Outer half of the plate, the middle of the plate to the outer half. A lot of pitchers recently have tried to tie him up. Pretty well hit to the gap in left center field. Reimer on the run, still on the run, reaches out and can't flag it down. 1 run scores. Here comes Jeffries. He'll score easily. And Keith Miller doubles to the gap in left center field. And the Royals add on here. Miller on at second base with 2 outs. There's another base hit. Brett singles to left. Miller around third. He'll be waved on home, and the Royals will lead it 6-0. George Brett is 3 for 3 and has a couple RBIs.
And have you noticed that as George moves closer and closer to his changeup? See what he'll call upon against Rodriguez here. Breaking ball right back at Monty, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 ninth, and the Royals win it 7-2. We'll be back.
All the strike zone has gotten.
It is below the waist.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And a base hit into right.
Oh,
That'll
man.
get a couple of runs in.
Yep. Cost him a base hit and 2 runs.
Well, he loses the call from the umpire, and then a base hit, and 2-0 Kansas City.
That's a tall lump.
Well,
Yeah. It all happened to me, too, when I was a kid.
here's a base hit. That'll get 2 more in. Pettis' throw to the plate, and he's out.
Off the plate.
He never did get to the bag.
Al McRae arguing with the plate umpire. It looked like from our vantage point, of course, we'll get a better chance when we see the replay. It looked like
Abbott giving up 2 or 3 early runs and then shutting the door. Up the middle, Wally Joyner has an RBI base hit. George Brett will head for third. Devon White will not throw. 3 consecutive singles. 1-0 Kansas City.
And you're right again, Bob. It's that one inning that's been hurting Jack Morris lately. He's had it early and fame quality.
3 balls and a strike. Reed challenges him with a fastball. It's into right field. And unable to make the play on a fly is Kozlowski. Winfield going for 2. He will be out at second base. Kozlowski might have missed the tag the first time. Winfield might have missed the bag, but he was out.
Homer when Dave Winfield played in San Diego than it is today.
2-2 pitch. This one hammered to center. Going back, Brian McRae. It is caught at the wall. A rocket shot of about 410 feet, and Brian McRae outraced the baseball to the warning track. 2 down. Days will concede the run to try for the double play. This one is lined into the gap in left center. It might score 2 more. Home is Joyner. Mick Reynolds around third. He will score on a 2-run double by Brent Mayne. 3-0 Kansas City. Kansas City now with 8 base hits. Up the middle, that'll get through. Around third, Joyner on his way home. It's 4-0.
And I'm not sure if I've ever seen Kevin McReynolds approach the ball like that. Man on second, no outs, and he literally led with his hands to hit an inside, low and inside pitch up the middle, which is really to right field for him. That's exactly what he was trying to do, and he did it. Execution to...
Runners going. Swing and a miss. Over to third. Out this time.
Very chancy play with one out and number 1, 2, and 3 coming up in your...
Al McRae has seen a 4-run lead disappear. Now it's an extra inning game. Olerud, high chopper out towards short. Howard to Wilkerson. And the relay in time. 6-4-3 go the Royals. They turn a dandy of their own on a ball not hit that hard.
He's starting to get comfortable, and he could swing that bat.
So can Joe Carter. And now he's upset at Greg Koss. You better smile, Joe. This umpire's just about had enough. And now Rich Hacker's getting into it.
I think Rich is the one to go. And Cito's now trying to be the peacemaker, but it must have come from third base. And Koss said, I had enough from you, and Cito didn't get out there on time. He's had enough, and I don't blame him. You know, over 300 pitches. He's called a couple of questionable pitches, I think.
Blew people away for 2. And there's a base hit to left field. Around third base is McRae. Here comes the throw. Kansas City wins. Curtis Wilkerson delivers. And that keeps it a game and a half in the American League East as Baltimore lost earlier and Toronto loses here. Pretty good ball game, Bobby.
Great ball game, and Little Daddy has that salary drive going. Way to go, Curtis. Heck of a game. Great working with you, Bobby.
Behind his left armpit, below the shoulder. It was a strained left triceps muscle.
A fly ball, shallow left, and unable to make the play is Ducey. And George Brett races to second base, and you would think that the scorer would give Brett a double. And if it is, in fact, a double, 71 RBIs for Greg Jefferies. He hits the ball in the air. Shallow left center. DiSarcina can't make the play. Brett will score. A big turn for Jefferies, and he'll go back to first. And Kansas City leads it in the opening inning 1-0. And for Jefferies, RBI number 72.
Hits, let's say, in the first 3 ball games. I thought he would sit out tomorrow and go back to Kansas City with 1 hit to go.
Ground ball, base hit to right. George Brett is 2 for 2. 2,997 hits, and safe at third is Wally Joyner. And the Southern California crowd excited about the fact that Brett now is within 2 hits of 3,000.
Al McRae said in the paper today that usually
out in the third, and Kansas City already up 1-0. Angels look for 2. Jefferies rips it to right. That's a base hit. Joyner will score. Brett stops at second, and it is 2-0 Kansas City. 3 consecutive hits from Joyner, Brett, and Jefferies.
Once
a long one to right. Ducey has ripped this one, and back to make the catch, Kozlowski. A very nice catch by Kevin Kozlowski for the first out here in the third inning.
I think the key to this
with single runs in the first and the third, and they lead the Angels tonight 2-0. Here's a fly ball to right. Joyner has hit it high. He's hit it deep. He's hit it out of here. Wally Joyner leads off the 5th inning with his 9th homer of the year, his 66th RBI, and it is 3-0 Kansas City. So quite a mixed reaction for Joyner as he crosses the plate with a home run. So he is sitting on 2,998 hits in his great career. He cuts, loops one to left center, and that'll get down a base hit for George Brett. That is hit 2,999, and they are on their feet here at Anaheim Stadium. 3 for 3 for George Brett tonight.
I don't understand why they don't let you and I do football and basketball too, and hockey and baseball.
Gapper may get down. No. Nice catch. Kozlowski sliding on his knees to grab it and take a hit away from Hubie Brooks. He has 2,999 hits. He is 18th on the all-time hit list. Tim Fortuno's pitch ripped on one hop off Overfell into right field. Brett around first. He is safe, and the teammates feel it's a hit. And that is number 3,000. The fireworks go off. George Brett with a 4 for 4 night in Southern California has his 3,000th hit. He ties Roberto Clemente for 17th on the all-time list. It's off Tim Fortuno.
One of the players out of their bullpen brought his movie camera with him.
What a thrill. George Brett gets his 3,000th hit. All-time George Brett, number 5 of the Kansas City Royals. Rose, Cobb, Aaron, Musial, Speaker, Wagner, Yastrzemski, Collins, Mays, Lajoie, Wayne. For that fact. Throw to first. And George Brett is picked off first. And even his wife is embarrassed. Congratulations to George Brett in the 7th inning.
Do you have any pull? Can you get us a post-game interview with your brother?
Ducey hits it deep to right. He's really rocketed this one. Kozlowski, who has made all the plays and then some, makes a very nice catch on the Angels left fielder.
Yeah, this is the third nice catch.
It is the 8th inning. Mike McFarland is the hitter in a 1-ball pitch hit deep to left out towards the 370 marker. Ducey there. It's gone. Well, he does it again tonight. Last night, Mike McFarland hit his 15th home run. Tonight, he hits his 16th. It comes leading off the 8th, and it is 4-0, Kansas City.
Well, McFarland now 5 for 8 in his last 2 games here against the Angels, including 2.
Fly ball, right center. Good jump for Kozlowski. He's there to make the catch and end the game. So a brilliant shutout for Rick Reed to move his record to 3-7. But most notably, a brilliant night, a record-setting night for George Brett. He gets 4 hits, including the 3,000th of his career tonight in Anaheim.
Once again, the 2-2. Curveball and Ventura's gone. Oh, nothing across for the Sox. They'll go to the bottom of the 10th in a 4-4 tie. See it up one more time. There's a shot, base hit in the left field. Brett rounding third base. Here the throw home. Not in time. Royals win it 5-4. Double sparked the rally here in the bottom of the 10th inning as Kevin McReynolds comes through with a base hit. And Kansas City takes the finale of this 3-game set by a score of 5-4. Right now, let's go back to our studios.
2-out hit in the 4th inning. Three-two pitch, and it's up the middle, and this will score 2 runs. Gaetti is home, so is Jose Lind, and the hit batter with 2 outs comes back to haunt Kenny Rogers. It's 3-0 Kansas City.
Shortstop
McRae with RBIs 30 and 31.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of hitting by McRae. Got a fastball out over the plate, hammered it through the box, but as you mentioned, Gary Gaetti, 0-2 pitch, 2 outs, is hit by the pitch, extends the inning, and this is just what the KC Royals needed right here.
1 out. Mario Diaz is next. And a grounder to short. Royals could be out of the inning. Turning it as Jose leaned, and it's a 6-4-3. Quickly, Texas gone in the 7th, and it's on to the 8th. Gubiza holding that 1-run lead. With a base hit in 3 trips for the Royals tonight. Kansas City leads 3-2 here in the 8th inning. And there it goes to left field. Now it's 4-2 Kansas City. The right-hander comes in, and on his second pitch, gives up McReynolds' 3rd homer of the year. He put a charge in that one.
This is what happens when you throw a sinker that doesn't sink. Kevin McReynolds gets a ball up in the zone.
Here, pinch hitting for Mario Diaz. And a liner to right, but it's going to carry, and Jose has it. The Royals beat the Rangers by a 4-2 score. A low-scoring, well-played affair here in Texas tonight, Fred Lynn.
Yeah, this is just what the Royals needed, a well-pitched ball game. They played great defense, and they scored when they had the opportunities.
So it's Texas coming up short in the 9th, 4-2. KC wins it. For Fred Lynn, Bob Carpenter. Thanks for joining us from Arlington. Don't forget, Sports Center is next on ESPN.
Now Gagne has bounced unassisted to Palmeiro and hit into a fielder's choice. Fly ball, deep left field, toward the line, curving toward the line. It is a fair ball home run. Greg Gagne with a 2-run homer, and the Rangers trail it 2-1. He has put the Royals on top on the first pitch. For the Rangers, but if George has his way, his team will win, and if his team wins, this will be his last at-bat. Here's George Brett and a standing ovation once again.
Pay attention, please. Now pitching for the Rangers.
Come out, and here he comes.
Hinkie now pitching for the Rangers.
Kind of poor timing, really, the video with George Brett's last at-bat, because it sort of stood him up, although half these people were, now they're all Brett. In fact, the Rangers off the dugout bench. Chopper to the shortstop. Through for a base hit. George Brett has finished with a base hit.
How about a runner?
It ends as the water builds in Florida.
The only thing worse is when they leave Miami, someone mistakes them for tourists. Gaetti hits one up and over. Now the Rangers are in big trouble. As far as winning this ball game, will come around and score. And Gary Gaetti now has the final home run in the ballpark so far. Brett getting an ovation as he touches home plate for the last time. It's one more. Got a chance to be the major league home run champ by himself. But he doesn't. Instead, goodbye Arlington Stadium. It's over. For the record, the final out, a ground ball by Juan Gonzalez to shortstop Gagne. Gagne standing right next to Gary Gaetti, who hit the last home run in this ballpark. And there will be a ceremony. We're staying right here. In fact, already the Rangers, of course, congratulating each other.
The introduction of the all-time team.
Rafael Palmeiro's moved out to first base, and he's picking up first base. He is taking first base back to the dugout, apparently just in case.
In this situation, I don't want to leave anything out of the plate that he can drive to the outfield. They're going away.
Fermin knocks it down, but won't be able to make a play. Run in, infield hit for Gagne. And not to really pick on Felix Fermin, but there's 2 balls in the inning. Having seen Omar Vizquel play up here, I think he might have made the plays on.
Needs a strike now.
Deep to left field. Way back and gone. A grand slam homer for Terry Shumpert. Saw Pinella's reaction. I'm sure Lou figures, hey, I made the decision. I got to live with it. And Terry Shumpert touches them all. His first career grand slam.
Well, in Pinella's efforts to keep Molly Joyner and Bob Hamlin out of the ball game,
so Fermin will move off first. 3-2 pitch to Anthony. Struck him out. Foul tip held on to by McFarland. So after a 3-0 count, Magnani strikes out Anthony. We go to the 9th. Deadlocked at 6. 0-2 the count to Henderson. Fly ball to right. Going to be deep enough to score the run. Buhner's got it. David Howard will come on. McRae goes to third, and the Royals have taken a 7-6 lead. So Dave Henderson on an 0-2 pitch was able to climb on top of a pretty good fastball up and drive. And he doesn't. Line to second right at David Howard. So the Royals get a huge win. They come back. Game went 6-3, then 6-6. And the Royals, once again, the final score is Kansas City 7, Seattle 6. Be sure to join us this week, everybody.
What makes him the pitcher that he is?
The payoff. Little broken bat flare. Ozzie going back. Can't make the play. Little duck snort right there by Hamlin as Joyner scores. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Made a good pitch. And got beat. So the score 2-1. Into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. As McFarland scores and the Royals take a 3-2 lead. RBI number 44 for Gagne.
Motion also, and again, that ball's going to find an awful lot more holes when that guy is in motion.
Joyner, Gagne. Joyner, 3-6-3 very quickly. That'll do it. Third double play turn by Kansas City. 3-3 tie. We'll return with baseball night in Coleman. So here's Hamlin. 2 for 4. A single, a double. Hits that ball deep into center field. Darren Jackson goes back. Looks up. You can put it on the board. A 3-run homer for Bob Hamlin. And Kansas City comes back to take the first of this 4-game set. They win it 6-4. And that happened in a hurry. And the totals on the board in the first of this 4-game series: 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Sox, 6 runs, 15 hits, no errors for Kansas City. And tonight's Chevrolet Player of the Game.
At first, they both run real well. Bobby Witt ready, delivers. Right back to Witt. Goes to Gill, and Gill's glove into center field. Tucker will score. That was a double play ball. And Witt made the poor throw, but I was surprised that Gill did not come up with it at least to get the one out.
Well, it appeared to me that Gill was just, that's why Rodriguez dropped it. He wanted to go third to second, and it would have worked.
The batter is Brent Mayne down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. Fair! And it's up into the crowd for the automatic double. Coming in to score is Nunnally. Howard will have to stop at third, and Mayne has the double, and it is 3-2, and we're watching the Rangers self-destructing here in the Johnny Damon, one of the outstanding members of the Royals youth. Base hit. The tying run scores. That's Howard. Here comes Mayne, and he will be held up. And you see Kevlin fired into the catcher. Tie ball game. Johnny Damon with his second consecutive 43% of the guys who attempted to steal. That's a high drive deep into right field. Way back there. It is tied up. Wally Joyner has hit one out of the ballpark. Joyner with his 10th home run of the year. It is 4-4.
Well, we said they didn't have much power in this lineup, but as you mentioned, they have two guys with now double-figure home runs, Joyner and Nunnally. And Joyner, a few years ago, it galloped him halfway to the backstop. Cal was out. Steinbach held the ball. But Steinbach also had to leave the game. Cookson has a base hit. Coming in to score is Mayne, and just like that, the Royals have gone ahead 5-4. Well, it looks
first lead.
Well, the fact that they have so many left-handers in the lineup means they have a lot of left-handers on the bench, right-handers on the bench. So now they're starting to...
And then you reach in to take the ball out of your glove and you drop it.
Right, then that's what Garcia said he did. That's what he was saying. Because he did say that he had the ball, he tagged him, and then he put it in his other hand.
Gaetti deep into center field. Back goes Nixon. Way back, way back. And it's off his glove, a 3-run homer. And the Royals will get 3 anyway. 8-5 Kansas City.
So that makes it a moot point now.
Wow, the Rangers get a huge break. The Royals seemingly have a run taken away from them. And yet it's the Rangers doing a fast fade and the Royals who are red hot. That's the game. As Montgomery makes short work of the Rangers in the 9th inning, he gets his 26th save. Greg Olson the winner, Vosberg the loser, and Gary Gaetti with the homer off the glove of Otis Nixon.
Lowest batting average of the night. Kevin Brown, the major league leader in ERA. They got 2 runs in 3 games.
Hamlin, a towering drive back into right. Buhner will watch it sail out. Buhner, just in case it hit the top of that wall, was setting up to play the carom. And that towering drive on a 2-0 pitch goes out as Hamlin gives Kansas City a 1-0 lead.
Now,
3 home runs. That's more than anybody else on the Seattle staff. There's a drive down the left field line. If that's fair, that's gone. And it is a fair ball. Paquette has hit his 17th home run. 2 solo shots for the Royals, and they lead 2-0.
Threw him 2 good breaking balls and then hung one, and Dan Wilson out to talk to his pitcher. Bob Wolcott is 5th in the American League in home runs per 9, and he isn't helping his average right now.
Here in this 2-0 ball game, Kansas City leading. Mando rolls it to short. Howard to Lockhart, 1 and over to first, so they come back with a double play on the ground ball to short. And the error does not hurt.
In series against the Mariners 9 straight years, and they're tied this year.
And a base hit the other way. Lockhart will score. Hamlin will stop at second. So Damon on the first pitch drives in his 45th run and makes it 3-0.
I think Sweet Lou has seen enough Walcott is not fooling any of the Kansas City hitters. And we're going to have
with a strike to count to Sweeney. And a looper into short right. Buhner coming on, and he makes the catch. Buhner got a little bit of a late start and managed to make the catch to retire Sweeney as Tucker holds at second.
Well, Jay's always had the great arm, but he also has been improving every year as an outfielder. He doesn't.
Against Rafael Carmona in relief of Bob Wolcott. Howard lifts the first pitch back into deep center field, and Griffey is there in line with the 380 marker. Boy, Howard, who has hit 4 home runs this year, doesn't have a lot of power, but he got a lot of carry on that one, and Ken Griffey Jr. had to stay with it to haul it in.
Mariners have been extremely special on deep.
1 out, 2-2 the count to Buhner. And he strikes him out. Buhner strikes out for the second straight time. Second strikeout of the inning for Pichardo. On the bench looking on. The 2-2. And Hunter is out on strikes. Pichardo picks up 3 strikeouts in the inning. A mild threat by Seattle. 2 hits and the Mariners leave. Both men aboard. He is at 361 right now. And Montgomery got it in on him and pops him up. Howard from short makes the catch, and this game is over.
Well, Jose Rosado got his team off the hook several times when they didn't play very well defensively behind him. The Mariners had shots in both the 8th and 9th with Buhner and Alex Rodriguez, 2 of their best hitters up, but Pichardo and Montgomery got the key outs.
So the final score from the Kingdome, the Royals 3 and the Mariners.
Line drive right field. There's 2999. Paul Molitor is 1 hit away from the 3,000 hit mark. There's Robin Yount. And 2 so far. He is an out. To right center field. Myers and Nunnally chase it. Myers, the ball drops. Molitor has his 3,000th hit, and he's chugging to third. And he's in with a triple. Paul Molitor becomes the 21st member of baseball's 3,000 hit club. Hit club. Down the right field line, this is trouble in the corner. It is a fair ball and a ground rule double. And the Royals are on the board. Opperman scoring. It's a 3-1 ball game. Without an extra base hit for 5 1/3 innings, the Royals put 3 of them back to back to back. And Lockhart's 6th home run makes it a 3-3 our score. The Royals have tied it up here in the bottom of the 6th. Hit down the line. Paquette to third. The ball gets away from Kelly, and the Royals are going to take the lead. Nunnally to third. It's 4-3 Kansas City. 5 hits this inning for the Royals, and maybe an error tacked on. Another sprint down the line. Radke unflustered. There's a chopper behind third. Good play by Walker. He can't get anything behind the throw. And Sweeney will get an infield hit, and it's 5-3 Kansas City. But both of them had to come when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers. Ground ball to second. Offerman to short. Out there, relay, double play. Well done. Bounces into an inning-ending double play. I bet we can come up with the answer when we come back. Swing and a miss. Bluma gets him. He wins the battle, and the Royals win the game. A 6-5 Kansas City win. The Royal win overshadowed by Paul Molitor's 3,000th hit, Chuck Knobloch's 1,000th hit, and we'll talk with Paul when we come back to Kauffman Stadium.
Back to the Baltimore dugout. A strikeout victim here in the second. B.J. Surhoff the batter. Little squibber back to the mound. There's one, and Felix Martinez turns a nice double play. First time we've had a chance to see the rookie, and he makes a nice one. A 1-6-3 double play ends the Orioles second, and just like that. It's always seemed to draw the Orioles on opening day. It's been bad news for Kansas City lately. Maybe not today, though. A base hit by Sutton is going to score 2, and the Royals jump out in front 3-0. The second out of the 7th inning here in Baltimore. Eric Davis is at first and now on the go. Throw down. And after a long look at it, Jim Joyce is going to punch out Eric Davis and punch out the Orioles in the 7th inning. A strong throw by Mike Sweeney to get him. And Tim Couple here today. And ropes one to right center field. This is well hit and in the gap and over the wall on a bounce. A ground rule double for Sutton. A 3 RBI day and a 4-1 Kansas City lead. The rush home. Inside corner, Davis is gone, and the Royals beat Baltimore 4-1. Some very impressive pitching here for opening day.
Oh, Tim Belcher just he answered the bell without Apier and came out there and threw as well as anybody can throw. Montgomery built real positive. The young players. Sutton got a couple base hits, drove in 3 runs. So a great debut for Tony Muser opening day, his first opening day.
Ray Miller falls to 0-1 as new manager of the Orioles. Wide leader in sports. Kansas City beats Baltimore 4-1 on opening day.
For strikeout number 25.
He had an RBI single his first at bat, and he is going to put this one in the seats, I believe. Yes, indeed. He might have been a candidate, but not this time, as he goes deep for his second home run against the big unit, and it is 4-0 Kansas City, and nobody out here in the third.
That looked like a breaking ball that was up in the strike zone. Williams wants to accomplish.
Well, there's one that's out of here. Mike Sweeney hitting a powering fly ball out of here. Right up in his eyes. Up, up, up. So that's his second home run for the Kansas City Royals. Mike Sweeney, his second of the year.
Up there.
A little bit.
Oh,
there's a base hit. He hung him one. So here comes Damon. Here comes Beltran. And it's very quickly 2-0 Royals. Made a bad pitch and Offerman made him pay.
You're exact.
There's another bad breaking ball. Albert can't get that one. One hops off the top of the fence. Offerman will score on the double by Palmer. And it's 3-0 bad guys.
It'd be nice to have Albert up there with the bases loaded the way he's swinging the bat.
Well, you can't have everything, you know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Man.
Not a good 3-0 swing right there by Frank.
Now that was almost a protect swing right there.
There's a base hit. King will hold at second as Offerman scores, and it's a 4-0 Kansas City lead. For the Royals, 0-3-0 for the Sox. There's a base hit. Here comes King. He'll score, and it's 5-0 Royals. We'll go out there. Curveball, hung it. Bullet, it's 6-4 Kansas City.
Lucky he didn't hit that one out of the ballpark. And that would have been an RBI also.
That ball hit deep into center field. Beltran goes back at the fence.
Get up!
He jumps and he makes the catch. It appeared it was over the fence, but he gets up and brings it back in, and that'll retire the side. We'll go.
There's a base hit. That's going to score 2. So Spear in the third. Lopez side of you. You have to conquer. Heck, we can all use a little of that. There's a drive. That's going to be out of here. A rocket to right. Johnny Damon, a 3-run homer. Oh, he creamed that one. It's now 13-4. No, I gave him 1-2. Yeah, it's 13. 17th homer now.
Homer in the last 3 ball games.
Wow.
Tied a record.
Whew. He wasn't really swinging that well against us.
As Ray goes down, and that will end the ball game. So the Royals come back after losing 9-4 last night. They win this one 13-4 to even up the series, and Wimpy and I will be back to wrap it up.